Hello, Chris Green here with the Flood Insurance Guru. Today we're talking about new flood maps for Jasper County, South Carolina, the Hardersville, South Carolina area. We want to talk about what some of the major flood risks in this area are. When was the last time these flood maps were updated? When will the new flood maps be taking place? And what are the flood insurance options in these areas? So let's talk about the flood risk for Jasper County and Hardersville, South Carolina. What's the major threat here? Well, the southern part of the county, the major threat, of course, is coastal risk. It doesn't lie far from Tybee Island, so right along the Atlantic Ocean, which can cause a major coastal threat. So this is one of the major threats. You still have some other threats of streams, lakes, rivers coming in, but the major threat for this area still is coastal. Now, the last time the flood maps were updated for Jasper County was 1986. As you can imagine, a lot of flood risk can change since 1986. You can say rising sea levels, warmer waters, stronger hurricanes. But I think we can all agree that new flood maps were needed since they hadn't been updated since 1986. So when are the new flood maps going in place? Well, the new flood maps went in place on October 18, 2019. So what are the flood insurance options in Hardersville and these other areas of Jasper County, South Carolina, where these new flood maps went into place? Well, you have two options we're going to talk about today. You have the National Flood Insurance Program, and then you have private market flood insurance. So let's talk about the two options under the National Flood Insurance Program. Under the National Flood Insurance Program, you have what's called a standard policy. You go ahead and put this in place. There's generally a 30-day wait period. Then you have what's called a newly mapped rate. This means that the flood map that you're in has recently changed, maybe from a low risk zone to a high risk zone. So this means that you qualify for special rating for the first 12 months. It's called a newly mapped rate. There is not a 30-day wait period on this. It's just a one-day wait period. Now, the important thing here is you get kind of a preferred rate with newly mapped rates. It might only be $500, $600, $700 compared to a standard policy, which could possibly be $2,000 or $3,000. So it's important to understand those differences. It's important to understand that if you're in one of these areas where the flood map has gone from a flood zone X to an A or AE, or maybe even a V, then you do qualify for it. So wherever you're getting insurance from, make sure to ask them about newly flood mapped rates. All right, so now let's talk about the private market flood insurance. Now, in Jasper County, you're in that coastal area, you've got multiple options for private market flood insurance. Now, what's the difference between this and the National Flood Insurance Program? Well, the National Flood Insurance Program is, of course, backed by the government. They set the rates. With private flood insurance, it's backed by private carriers, so they can offer some different coverages, like temporary living expenses. Maybe you have an investment home in Jasper County. It could help with business loss of use, business interruption, business income, some things like that the National Flood Insurance Program doesn't offer. Maybe you have a higher value home. The National Flood Insurance Program only offers up to $250,000 on residential houses. Private could offer up to $10 million if you need it. So these are all important things to understand in Jasper County with the new flood map changes. Now, there's also a third option, which isn't really flood insurance. This is called a letter of map amendment. And what this basically states is, hey, I've been moved into a high-risk flood zone, but I don't think that's right. I think I should still be in the low-risk area, and here's the documentation to prove it. This is called a letter of map amendment. It's one of the things we specialize in here at the Flood Insurance Guru, is helping clients get their properties removed from the high-risk areas back to the low-risk areas, giving them preferred insurance rates, helping them increase property values by doing this. So, if you've got questions about the flood insurance options in Jasper County, maybe you want to try to get your property removed from that high-risk area, or you've got questions about newly mapped rates through the National Flood Insurance Program, then please reach out to us. floodinsuranceguru.com. Go to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page, The Flood Insurance Guru. Remember, we have an educational background in flood mitigation, so this means we can help you understand flood risks, like this one right here, your flood insurance, and mitigating your property long-term to help you minimize flood losses and flood premiums. Thank you.